Alrighty. Good day to all you glorious Rascallion Resonators, you absolute legends. The name is FOXSOL. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to some more Wuthering Waves, and hopefully wherever you're at, you're having a tremendously fantastic and glorious day. So, we're going to go ahead and possibly ruffle the feathers of some people, but I feel like it needs to be talked about, and I want to talk about the story for Wuthering Waves 1.3. I'll say it like this. I give it a 7 out of 10, and I want to discuss why. So if you're interested, take a seat, relax, grab a cold one, kick those feet up, and let's dive into that conversation. I'll say it like this. Wuthering Waves 1.3 story, I don't think was an amazing, absolutely god tier story. I think that Wuthering Waves 1.3 story was a very generic story that honestly was very decent for what it provided. I think that it had problems though, and the problems I think it had was in the pacing. Now, when I'm talking about the pacing of Wuthering Waves and the issues surrounding it, I am talking about the fact that, in Wuthering Waves 1.0 to 1.1, even a little bit in 1.2, there was an issue with Wuthering Waves liking to draw out moments really, really long. There was long and drugged out elements in the story that absolutely was a snooze fest. And it was main reasons why a lot of times that I would talk about Wuthering Waves and I'd be like, yo, I slept on the story, bro. Because as much as I tried to stay in it, it was just way too much talking, way too much yapping, and it didn't even really feel like it pertained to the story as much as it should have. And then with 1.3, we're finally getting into a part, where there was other good parts in Wuthering Waves story. Don't get me wrong. You had the Jin Shi storyline, you had the Jin Yang, the Jian storyline, the Chang Li storyline, which were all great stories that was really done tastefully and very well. That actually got me interested in, the character stories. But in 1.3, one of the biggest obstacles in here is it feels like the Shorekeeper story. That the pacing behind it is absolutely not really that good. It's way too fast. What I mean is that when we talk about the Shorekeeper, we're talking about a prominent character that knows about Rover's past. I'm trying my best not to make sure I spoil anything about the story, but I'll say it like this. She knows the Rover, okay? And things happen in the story, but those things that happen, just in my personal opinion, happen way too fast for any kind of character building. As a prominent character, we're basically going from introduction into middle of story with no character development. It's like Kuro Games, whoever wrote this story, straight up said, this is the Shorekeeper, she is waifu, you will love her whether you like it or not, and you accept that fact. And there's no building of a relationship for a hero that has, well, the basic, amnesia cliche to this character. It's just like, hey, I know you, and I love you, basically, and walla bing walla boom, let's work together, and there you go. There's no questioning, there's no development of these two characters. It is just perceived that I will follow suit with whatever she says. And it's just felt like the pacing of the story was just really too fast. Like, this was the moment in my personal opinion, that we should have taken this a story like the Shorekeeper and really and truly made this the long drug out story, so that way we get a fulfillment of an actual relationship and an actual character building. When you look at stories like Jian, you look at stories like Chang Li, Jinshi, and stuff like this, these are characters that, yeah, their stories were, you know, not fully long and drugged out, but it was long and drugged out enough in the entire aspect to build up that relationship. The relationship that we're building here is like instantaneously, is like the classic scenario of this is waifu, hero fucking loves waifu, end of story. You know, there's no rhyme or reason behind it. It is just what it is. And I'm sorry. Because of that, I have to give it a 7 out of 10. I'm not sure if any of you guys feel the same way. Maybe you had a different experience than I did, and that's fine. If you liked the story, you know, and you got your fulfillment out of it, you felt like it was really, really done good, it was done tasteful, and it was at a good pacing, hey, awesome. But I'm saying that for myself, I just feel that there was a pacing problem, and that was the biggest issue. I feel like we straight up went into this story and it was a good beginning, a rushed middle, and pretty much all the way to the end, it's just like, why do I really care about this character except that it feels like it's a forced agenda? In character building, you know, Jian, Chang Li, Jinshi, even Lin Yang, it felt more like it was stories that with the characters, and what basically made me interested in these characters was the organic feeling of knowing and feeling these characters is feeling. With Shorekeeper, I don't feel that way. I just feel like I was introduced to a shotgun wedding by Kuro Games. They put the Shorekeeper right next to me, put a shotgun in the back of my head, and just told me, you will like it whether you like it or not. Like I said, maybe you didn't feel that way, but that is honestly the reason why, you know, I am the way I am. Like, I'm not going to overhype the story, because I've talked about this, and I know there's a few other people that feel the same way, and I want to see if there is more people like that, or, you know, maybe in general there's no one else, and it's just like the 5 or 6 of us, and it's just like everyone else thought there was a great, amazing story, and maybe we're completely wrong. But I'm just saying, when it comes to it, I really do feel that WutheringWaves' story for 1.3 had a pacing issue. And I'll leave it there. You guys tell me in the comment section, what do you feel? Do you feel the pacing was just a little bit rushed for the Shorekeeper? That maybe there should have been more relationship building, more character development between both Rover and the Shorekeeper? Or do you feel the pacing was absolutely perfect and the story was completely amazing? I would like to hear that from y'all. I would like to get that, you know, that concept from y'all, and to see just in general what your opinion is. All right, so let's start that conversation. Let's go for it. And if you like the video, consider going ahead and giving the video a like. Consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Basically, my content is mostly opinionated based. We do guides and stuff like this. We do live streams on the channel, and this was just one of those topics that came from a live stream and I thought about, so I wanted to talk about it. All right, guys. Well, in any case, as always, make sure to go ahead, keep it classy, keep it jazzy, and always keep it real. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.